If love's bright once it beats, my was blind, it can't see all the things I decided we can be. Hours went by, I can't breathe. Time will tell, but it seems tired truth show me things I believe. How it dies easy.
Good morning, my loves, and hey mamas. Girl, welcome back to the channel, girl. If you are new here, girl, it's Bianca, your favorite 31-year-old mom of 2 little toddler boys. Okay, girl, and today I'm here to give the mama something special. And I'm so excited about it this morning, girl, giving y'all something different, girl, because if you clicked on this video, then either you're a mom already, okay, and you just want to chit chat, or you're thinking about having some kids and you need the details, girl, or babes, you're just here for the vibes. Either way, I'm so glad to have you here. Girl, go ahead, hit the like button, go ahead, drop a comment down below, go ahead and subscribe, girl, do all the things. If you clicked on this video, girl, hold on, I ain't even started talking yet and I'm already so parched. Hold on. Girl, if any part of the video resonates with you and you're a mama, girl, give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and tap that bell notification. Go ahead and tap that subscribe button so that when we post new content, girl, you'll be the first to know about it, so you can go ahead and tune in. So, girl, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I want to go ahead and give you girls the information that I wish that I would have known before I had kids, the information that I wish that I had, or wish that somebody gave me when I did have kids, and maybe, you know, just a little bit of just girl chat and chit chat that I wish that I would have gotten or received, you know, after having kids. Baby girl, starting off, all pregnancies are not the same, okay? Every pregnancy is not a blissful, peaceful, cotton candies and rainbows. Either you have support or you don't have support. And what do I mean by that? Like, there are some women in the world who actually have complications with their pregnancies. Like, there are some women, the baby's breached, you have to have a C-section. There are some women, some mamas who can have 3, 4, 5 children, and every single one of their pregnancies are, you know, blissful. They don't have morning sickness. They feel so beautiful inside, outside. They look so beautiful inside, outside. They're glowing literally from within. Like, I don't think I want to get the bigger lemon slice. I'll go for the smaller lemon slice. Girl, just fixing our lemon water. Okay, go ahead and get the metabolism up and running. So important to drink your water first thing in the morning. So I really want to get back on my lemon water. So we'll just go ahead and, you know, prep that while we, you know, have our little chit chat, mom chat, girl chat. Girl, everybody's pregnancy is not the same. So that's something that I would think about or think ahead about. This whole time, girl, we're only talking about me and my experience. My pregnancy went the same way both times, girl. I got 2 kids, okay? Like, just speaking for me and my experience, like, the morning sickness. Let's talk about morning sickness. Let's define morning sickness. Well, not define, but girl, let's just talk about it. Like, some people's morning sickness is they're getting up, and we're talking about morning sickness that you experience like the first couple of weeks, the first several weeks of your first trimester, okay? Girl, during this time, you are so sleepy. I remember before I even knew that I was pregnant the first time with Tatum, I remember just, you know, wanting to sleep, feeling so tired in the morning before work. I remember, you know, getting to work feeling really sleepy, being really sleepy, and, you know, getting off of work, and just the first thing I wanted to do was just jump in the bed, okay? I just wanted to get in the bed. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do nothing extra. I just wanted to get in the bed. And girl, that's what I did. And I would sleep from the time I got home from work until the next morning time when it was time to get up for work. And I would just do that over and over again. Like, I had a homegirl that I would talk to every single morning before work. Like, before I even knew I was pregnant, girl, I didn't even want to talk. Like, I was just so tired. I was so sleepy. Hold on, girl. Oh, that's so good. I think we need one more slice. Most times when people talk about like morning sickness, you know, you think that the mom is like, you know, actually getting up and vomiting like every single morning, you know, and that is the case for some women. So you're vomiting for some women. for some women, they don't have morning sickness at all. It's some mamas that's gonna watch this and they have no idea what I'm even talking about, can't empathize, can't sympathize, cannot resonate because they literally did not have this experience. That's what I'm saying. You know, I don't know how people have like multiple pregnancies, because the way my morning sickness was set up is you just feel so nauseous. Like, you feel so sick, you feel so nauseous. And in the beginning, when you actually need to be eating, well, you need to be eating the whole time, girl, because you need to be nourishing your body and you need to be nourishing your baby as well. Just the entire time, you just feel so nauseous, or I feel so nauseous whether I ate or whether I didn't eat. And you need to eat. So either way, you just feel so nauseous whether I ate crackers. And it was such a weird dynamic, because like I remember at one point, like my favorite thing to eat was like quesadillas, because that's what Tatum loved, girl. When I ate quesadillas, girl, he tore it up in the belly, started kicking, flipping, doing all the things. Almost like 10-15 minutes later, then you feel really sick, and the type of sick that makes you like want to gag. Me personally, but I never vomited. I never threw up. I'm like, so just imagine like how frustrating that is. And then also, girl, everybody's pregnancy is not the same either. Just like even delivery, you know, like I said earlier, some women have to have C-section. Some women, you know, have complications at birth. What do they call it? Like, what is it? Like ectopic pregnancy or something like that. I know my hairdresser used to have that. Like, there are women who actually die. There are moms that die at birth. So not everybody's pregnancy is the same, girl. Pregnancy is going to look very different for a lot of people. In the hospital, some people get epidural, some people don't. Like, every pregnancy looks different. I can arguably say that I feel like the women who don't know what I'm talking about, obviously, that had the bliss, the joy, no morning sickness, like they even felt better pregnant. I've talked to some moms who say that, girl, that they felt better pregnant, just like, you know, and more energetic, more, you know, just up on the up and up. Like, girl, that was not me. That was not me at all. I did not exercise when I was pregnant. I did not want to get out of the bed. I felt horrible. The majority, 98% of my first trimester, I felt horrible. Okay, so that morning sickness kind of lingers almost into your second trimester, and I felt like that both times with both children. Girl, the second thing that nobody talks about is how expensive it is to have a baby. Like, it is, girl, it is so expensive to have a baby. Like, from the moment that you get pregnant, and then you have to start going to, you know, your OB appointments, you know, so obviously you're having a copay, depending on the insurance, right? Obviously you're having a copay, and then, you know, you're paying for ultrasounds. And in Atlanta at that time, when I was pregnant with Tatum, girl, I don't know if things were just more expensive. I don't know if they were just more expensive at the OB specialist that I decided to go to. Because that's what my insurance told me at the time, and I had Cigna at the time, that this is an OB specialist. So like, everything was so expensive. All of the copays were so expensive. And then it gets to a certain point in your pregnancy where you have to start going and getting checkups like every 2 weeks. And then you start going every week. And then you start going like up until you deliver, you start going like every single day, right? Because they're wanting to monitor, you know, how you're doing, how the baby's doing, the vitals, you know, the blood pressure, the this, that, like the breathing. Like, I remember like the 3D ultrasound at the specialist that I, you know, was having Tatum at in Georgia. That 3D ultrasound cost like $300. I was like, oh no, girl, I'm good. I don't need to see the baby in 3D. This good 1D, 2D ultrasound where I can just see him regularly, old school, is cool with me. Then when you have the baby, how do people have 5, 6, 7 through 8, 9, 10 kids? Like, where's the money coming from? You're paying for the room, the delivery room that you're in, the delivery labor nurse, the delivery deliverer, the doctor, or whatever, like the anesthesiologist, if you get like an epidural, or like the epidural person, or whatever. Y'all, look, I got a finance degree. I'm not nurse, medical practitioner, okay? Oh my God, what Bianca? Oh, that is so good. I remember, this is off topic, but I remember when I had just gave birth, I definitely re-upped on my lemon water because it helps to like shrink the whole like pelvic, I don't know if it's the whole pelvic area, but it definitely helps to shrink the stomach. And I don't know, I just had a personal belief. This is my personal belief, okay, that it helped to shrink the uterus back together. I don't know. Maybe that just made me feel good. That thought just made me feel good thinking about that thought. When you get your bill, and it's multiple bills coming, like it's not just one bill. I remember at one point in 2020, like it was just nonstop bills. Like I'm like, it's just bill after bill after bill, and they come like 2 to 3 months apart from each other. I swear I was paying bills for an entire year. So one thing you want to do is make sure that you're financially stable or financially positioned, you know, having insurance, or, you know, maybe you have private insurance, or maybe, you know, you have like a health savings, or, you know, however it's set up through, you know, your job and your company, or just in general, you know, making sure that you just have that insurance. After the insurance, you know, foots their part, girl, you're getting multiple bills of $300 here. Oh, you gotta pay, you know, for, I don't know, they bought you some blankets or something, you got to pay for that, okay, it's $300. Then you get another bill, it's like, this bill's like $450, right? Oh, the doctor came and cut the umbilical cord, you got to pay him for the scissors, okay? Then you get another bill, this bill $800. Oh, well, you know, you stayed for 2 nights, you know, so you need to go ahead and pay, you know, for the 2 night and the little 16 hours that fell over into the next day. Then you get another bill, and that bill is, oh, the circumcision, so that's $100, okay? You be happy to get the $100 bills, okay? Now, you know I'm saying something when I say you be happy to get the $100 bill, because then, girl, it's gonna roll around, you're gonna get another bill. Girl, you're paying for everything. So when you are in that hospital stay, girl, just make sure that you are financially positioned enough to, because keep in mind, we just talked about all of the, you know, ultrasounds that you're paying for. Not one ultrasound. That's just if you chose to get the 3D ultrasound, right? I think in Atlanta it was $300 at the specialist office that I was going to. In Memphis, I hear that they're probably like $150, you know, for a 3D ultrasound. I don't know, but girl, you're getting that on top of your regular ultrasounds, okay? I remember the first ultrasound that I had to pay like $500. No, the first ultrasound I had to pay $500 because I had not met my deductible. So maybe that was a thing. And then the one after that, the second ultrasound, I can't remember how much I had to pay, but girl, I think that you get the gist. Having a baby is expensive. So when people say having a baby, having children are expensive, I don't think it's the after fact. I don't think it's the diapers and, you know, the milk and you know, the clothes and, you know, just like the necessities of what a baby needs. Like, you know, I feel like if you just go out and just in your regular day-to-day, just going to Walmart, grocery shopping, all of that, to me, having a baby or you know, taking care of the baby, buying the necessities and the needs, to me, that just kind of all rolls into that, okay? That's just gonna come out the paycheck. But it is the having the baby, it's the hospital cost, it is the paying the doctor, it is the, you know, anesthesiologist, it is the ultrasounds, it is the co-pays, it's literally everything up until having a baby that is so expensive. Girl, y'all can have it. The third thing that I wish that somebody would have told me is, girl, what private time? There is no such thing. There's no such thing. Like, there's no private time. Like, when you become a mom, and I'm a solo mom, like I parent solo, girl, there is no such thing as privacy. And I remember being in the apartment in Georgia with Tatum, and just there's just no privacy from the time that you have the baby. Boom, like the baby is with you, you know, you're doing skin to skin, you're breastfeeding, you know, that's your baby. It is literally an extension and attachment. Girl, I never needed personal space until I had children. Like, I never needed, I've always been the type of person, and I guess it's because I was like an only child. Like, I've always been the type of person who wanted to be around people, always wanted to be around friends, was always at somebody's house, was always at cheer practice, was always, you know, girl, doing something. I never needed, like, I was the type of person, like, I had friends, like, where we would go over each other's house, and girl, I could stay at your house for an entire week, and then after we get done with that, then you come into my house for an entire week, and that's just kind of how it went. Girl, never needed personal space until I had kids. You better believe it. It's the little things that you don't realize. If you're a mom watching this right now, and you know how like they have like the whole thing, like, you know, it's a flex if you know, are in your mid-20s, 30s, and you know, the only thing you have to care about is yourself, meaning you don't have kids and you can live your life, and you know, you don't have any responsibility besides yourself. You can pamper yourself and have self-care, self-love, you know, all of that. That's a real thing. You know, I think that as moms and on this channel, girl, we don't, you know, pit each other apart. So I wouldn't say that it's a flex to be a mom and have kids versus it not being a flex to not have kids and, you know, be responsible for yourself and not have to, you know, worry about anything else other than self-love and pouring into yourself. All of us as moms can definitely attest to the fact that, and not all, because baby, it's some moms that love being around their kids 24/7, okay? Like, that's what they lived for, was to be a mom, you know? And I think I thought that was me. Little things. Pooping, okay? I remember every time it was wash day for me, and girl, now I'm relaxed, okay? The bob is relaxed, but I remember not being relaxed, and I remember at that time I was natural, so you know, you do wash day like every 5 to 6 to 7 days, and I just remember that even being, you know, not being able to have that time by myself. So Tatum, he was a baby, he would like sit on the floor right by my foot, okay, and just wait for me to do every process of my hair. And as a mom, you know, you kind of feel bad a little bit because you're like, babes, you don't want to go in the front and watch Word Party. And where would he go, right? We were in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was a solo parent. Where's he gonna go? So I'm not saying that I expected him to be anywhere else other than with me. Again, girl, just giving more color, painting the picture about what it was like. Girl, there's no such thing as taking a shower by yourself. That was the biggest adjustment that I had to get used to, is the fact that, babes, there's no more personal space. You are responsible for yourself and other human beings. And I never needed personal space until I had kids. So all the girls who get to do like their little luxurious, be in the shower for 1 hour, you know, buttering up your skin, doing 3 lathers and 3 washes and 3 rinses with an exfoliation and a body polish, and then shave your legs, and girl, there's no such thing. Like, the baby's crying, okay? If you can even take a shower that day, if you can even take a shower, okay? Now, this is not like you are living in a 2-parent household, because, you know, that ultimately was, you know, my goal, right? It's not like, and you can just like take shifts and you can take turns. So, you know, while you hop in the shower, hubby, you know, or husband can, you know, take shifts, watch the kid, make sure the kid's not falling off the bed, because baby, the kid is gonna fall off the bed. Make sure that the kid is not, you know, sticking his finger in a socket, or, you know, just, I don't know, anything. While you get to have like a peace of mind in the shower and just breathe and woosah, like, no such thing. Even when you're taking a poop, girl, the kids don't even smell the poop. No, Jace, my 3-year-old, he will just come and stand next to me and want to talk to me and have a whole conversation and ask me, do I need a diaper? And a diaper is a pad. So, mommy, do you need a new diaper? Do I need to give you a new diaper? You know, I love Jace. You know, so it's now, I think that I'm finally getting used to it, and my kids are a little older. They're 3 and 5 now. So, definitely toddlers. So I can, you know, say, hey, mommy needs privacy, please. I just want to be able to, you know, shower in peace and actually listen to my Snow Allegra on Pandora. I actually want to wash my face and just stand there and look at myself in the mirror. I want to be able to poop in peace. Can we make that a hashtag down below? I don't gotta say too much on that, okay? Okay, hold on, girl. I got a little hungry. We had to get us a little snack, okay? got a little hungry, talking to y'all, girl, gotta get us a little snack. I think that that's a good segue for us to kind of just slide on into the next point number 4, girl, which is just the mental toll that it takes, right? So when you think about it, and you know, we just talked about, girl, you're not showering in peace, you're obviously not sleeping, you know, peacefully, you're sleeping with your kid, you know, you're not pooping in private, you know, there's no alone time. So there's not a lot of alone time to process or channel, you know, what you're thinking and what you're feeling, you know. So a lot of the times, one of the biggest,
the largest
feelings that I felt was anxiety. Like from the moment, and this was the first time and the second time, but I felt it and experienced it differently, okay? So the first time I ever was, you know, gave birth, the anxiety that you just almost immediately experience off the rip. And we kind of touched on this a little bit in like point number 1, point number 2, but no, like anxiety. Girl, from the minute you have the baby, you just start worrying about everything. Like, so for me, I had a breast reduction like when I was a senior in high school. I knew that they told me up front that I probably would not be able to breastfeed if I ever wanted to have kids. And you know, at that time I was like, okay, cool, you know, when you're in high school, girl, you're not thinking about that. The moment I had Tatum with the first baby, you're just worried about everything. You're worried about, are they breathing? So Tatum had jaundice when he first came out, like, you know, like he was yellow or something. And so they had to like put a mask on his eyes to protect his eyes, because he basically had to like sit in like ultraviolet light for like a very long time. I think like 16 hours minimum to kind of, you know, make that go away. And so like, he's so small, the babies are so small. And so like he had a mask on his face, and if y'all know my baby, like his nose is, you know, like, so I'm like, he had the mask on his face, and I'm like, is he breathing? So like the whole night, the first night, I'm like, is he breathing? I'm trying to rest because I just birthed an entire human, and that carried with me all the way till we went home as well. Whether he was co-sleeping in his bassinet or whether he was sleeping with me, I constantly found myself like waking up, touching his chest, feeling his chest, like making sure there's oxygen coming out of his nostrils, okay? That was so much anxiety. At that time, we lived in an apartment in Sandy Springs, and so we were like the middle unit. So like there was like a townhouse unit above us, and then there was like townhouse unit below us, and then like I was the sandwich. I was like in the middle of the sandwich. And so obviously with a newborn, the crying, y'all, I just have crybabies. Like that's another reason I say that every pregnancy is not the same, because I also think that women who didn't have crybabies don't even understand what I'm talking about. Don't even understand how the crying nonstop just registers and weighs on your mental. Like it does something to you. When my kids are crying, it makes my brain and my inside, it makes my nervous system do this. Like I don't know what this is, but that's what happens internally when my kids are crying. So I remember it would make me like really anxious when it was like the wee hours of the morning, and you know, it's time to feed the baby again, because girl, they waking up every hour and a half, they waking up every 2 hours. That's why everybody's pregnancy journey and experience is not the same, because I know one girl who used to do my hair in Atlanta, Brittany, all 3 of her kids, she said, slept through the night very early on. Girl, nah. It would be some nights Tatum wake up, it's 2 in the morning, and he think he gonna watch TV. Like, oh, he think it's time to play, and he up. Girl, the sleep training for me didn't come until later on. So if Tatum was up and we're up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and we're the middle unit, like I just feel so bad for my top and bottom neighbors, because like, girl, you know the apartment walls is paper thin, regardless of if you paying $1,600 a month or $2,300 a month in rent, girl, the walls is thin. And so the fact that I knew that my neighbors were trying to sleep and that they could hear the baby, even if it wasn't loud to them, the fact that I knew that they could hear him, and baby Tatum cried nonstop, that gave me anxiety. I was so happy when we moved out of Georgia and back into Memphis. We were in a house because I no longer had to worry about that. Like, so Tatum could cry for 40 minutes, girl, in which he did, okay? He cried the whole 40 minutes, and we weren't bothering anybody. We weren't distracting anybody. So I remember that caused me a lot of anxiety. I remember it caused me anxiety to leave out of the room, and he was like on the bed. So a lot of the times he was like on the floor, and when they're a baby, they can't crawl yet, you know, like their head will get flat on the back. Girl, it was so many things, girl. I plan to do more of these videos. So if y'all have more questions, girl, please drop them down below and let me know. Let me know what y'all want me to answer. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know if you had a similar experience, baby. Please let me know that I'm not crazy, okay? Because I'm so passionate about mom content. I'm so passionate about just like being a mom, getting it right, you know. But I do also know and am very much so well aware that, baby girl, we make mistakes and that baby is gonna fall out the bed. But nonetheless, like, that made me anxious. Which also contributed to like the separation anxiety. Girl, there was so many things. But we're gonna be done in a little minute. Hold on, we only got one more point, baby girl. I'm finished my banana. They had to put a little bit more water in our cup. Cheers. Okay. And I had to get my little medicine to take my medicine. I think they gave me this doxycycline or something. Doxycycline or something for my acne. So it's supposed to like kill, I guess, like staph and stuff that could, girl, what is going on? Open, push down, palm while turning. Okay, there we go. Jeez Louise, girl, it's not that crucial. Okay, but anyways, I think this is for my acne. So hopefully it's working. I feel like yesterday was doing a really good job, and girl, now it's time for me to my lady time of the month, and so I always get breakouts, so that's happening too. All right, girl, so point number 5. If I had to, and if you guys have been wondering if I've been liking the mom bob, girl, I have been liking the mom bob. One thing about me, baby, I'ma throw mom in front of everything, baby. This is a mom chat, a mom vlog, a mom bob, a mom outfit. Baby, one thing about me, I'm going to throw the word mom in front of whatever. Ask my sisters, okay? So, okay, so last and final thing, baby girl, if I had to make a decision to be pregnant again, I chose yes. What's something that I would like to have just spruced up a little bit, girl, is my wardrobe, okay? My maternity clothes. Where was she in? Where were all of the maternity manufacturers in 2020? Like, because in 2019 and 2020, because now when I, you know, step into a website, all of our favorites, and I look at the maternity section, I feel like the clothes are so much more pretty. I feel like, you know, it's so much more variety. I feel like there's so much more colors, different, you know, outfit ideas, different, you know, mix and match pieces. Girl, I struggled so hard finding maternity clothes when I felt like I was pregnant both times, and I'm like, was I not looking in the right places? I feel like I was always on Shein. My maternity wardrobe consisted of leggings and a sweatshirt, pretty much. And then, girl, like the first time I was like really skinny at that time, so it took a while for the people in the office to notice that I was like pregnant, until like that little mom pooch started to kind of like show a little bit. But like at that time, before the pandemic, you know, in 2019, early 2019, we were still in the office. So I'm still wearing business professional attire, you know, blazers, vest, you know, work slacks, work pants, you know, casual attire. So I'm still very much so wearing clothes every single day. So, and then I was still trying to not hide it, but keep my business to myself for a while, because, you know, when it's time to tell you, then it's time for me to tell you, and then we got to talk about, you know, all the things on the job. That's it. I was in the office, and majority of my clothes at that time were either office clothes or like going out clothes, because I was still in my 20s, and so like we would still catch a brunch, you know, so it would be like a maxi dress. But I wasn't one of those hot mamas with the maxi dress on, okay? Like the bump is equivalent in ratio and proportion size to how far the tush sticks out. It was kind of giving like a SpongeBob a little bit. It was kind of giving like big at the top, little at the bottom a little bit. So I was like, you know how you see those moms and they look so cute. For example, Sierra in her maternity fashion, Rihanna in her maternity fashion. Now, are those actual like celebrities? Yes, but like now I even see like the cute little girls that'll wear like the denim maternity skirts with like a little white t-shirt tied in the front with like the mom sneakers, okay, like, you know, the little kids or whatever, and you know, like with their hair, you know, so like that is so pretty. And then girl, I was natural, so the hair was big, the stomach was big, everything was just big. Like I didn't even have maternity fashion. See, now on Shein they have like really cute maternity clothes, and because you're not necessarily going to be wearing the maternity clothes for like a real long time after you not pregnant anymore, so after you give birth, you're not really gonna have to keep those clothes long, so you don't feel bad, you know, about spending a lot of money on them. And that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? So like you would be able to like shop Shein and get, you know, like the maternity maxi skirts, the maternity maxi dresses, or even just a regular maxi dress, just like go up a couple of sizes. I remember like trying to look at Old Navy. I'm like, why does Old Navy have a limited maternity selection? I feel like Old Navy would have a good maternity selection. I remember looking at like Macy's and like Boohoo or Boho, and it was just so like, it was just bland. It was not giving like fashion. It was not giving like I'm pregnant and I'm proud. It was not giving none of that, girl. It was giving, you know, I wore like tunics and leggings. That's like what I wore with big hair. So I was looking like I was 35 when I was 25. So you can kind of, you know, put that together. So I would redo that. I would just like step up my maternity fashion. I'm not gonna say that I don't like, I'm just gonna say that I would necessarily do for myself, which is like having the belly out. Like I love Rihanna's maternity fashion, but just me for myself, I'm not gonna have like the belly out, like the belly is the statement piece, or you know, I'm not gonna do that. But you know, I do love the fact that she steps out and makes her fashion maternity centered. I love that. I love that so much about what Rihanna is doing. And so I don't know, I feel like my maternity style, I would have just tried to have been a little bit more trendy, I guess wherever you can, because girl, some days you don't feel like doing nothing. You can't reach your feet to put your shoes on. So maybe I would have had to wear some slides, baby child, look, because honey, I don't know. But I just wish that I would have done that a little bit more fashionably, because I feel like that would have helped to boost, you know, how I felt about myself. I cannot say that I felt like super confident or super beautiful, you know, while I was pregnant. I did naked, so which is weird. It was just when I put clothes on. Like when I was naked, I felt so beautiful. I felt very empowered. Like I felt like I looked good. My hair was long, edges was thick, hair was healthy. You know, I would like blow it out and just wear it like blown out. Like my skin was glowing. Like it was literally just when I put clothes on. When I put clothes on, I felt, oh girl, the opposite of everything that I just said, girl. So that's something. So if you're a mom and you know of like little places and stuff that has like good maternity fashion, you know, to recommend to the girls down below, please leave a comment. Y'all be watching the videos, and I know it's awkward like if no one has commented on a video yet, but girl, be the first person to comment on the video. Like I'll leave a pinned comment down below for this particular video, because I know, you know, I know how it is, because sometimes, you know, I watch other people's videos and ain't nobody commenting yet. I be like, oh, I don't want to be the first person to comment, you know. But if it's somebody that I'm really rocking with, like my favorite podcast or, you know, something like that, then, you know, I'll go ahead and try to like leave a little comment, because by the time I'm commenting, girl, everybody else can comment it too. So, you know, but look, I get it. But if you know of some good places that have like good maternity fashion, you know, trendy, at an affordable price point, go ahead and drop that down below. Like, let me know, girl, what was you wearing when you was pregnant? I don't plan on being pregnant again, but maybe some people need some, inspiration. I know people be like, on Pinterest to like look for inspiration and stuff like that, but girl, we are done with the video, girl. We have reached the end of the video. Those are my top 5 things, girl, that I wish that I knew prior to being pregnant, when I was pregnant, and then after, being pregnant, girl. So, girl, that's it. That's all. Again, girl, it's Bianca, your favorite 31-year-old mom of 2 little toddler boys. Any part of the video resonated with you, baby girl, go ahead and tap that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, join the community, love. I would love to have you here, girl. That is it. That is all for this video. I'll catch you girls in the next mom chat, girl. Bye.